I do, of course, do not stand alone, and it is my pleasure to welcome my fellow advisory board member, Mandisa, who will also be providing our sponsor's address today. I'd like to thank BCX for their intentional work around the empowerment of women within corporate South Africa. We are able to host these important conversations because of their incredible support. Mandisa, over to you.
Thank you, Nomonde. And good morning to all on this very cold day. It's very cold here in the studio, so I'm really envying some of you who are sitting at home and, with your heaters and underfloor heating. We're freezing here, but we're going to make it warm. So as Nomonde said, today's masterclass is around career ownership and navigating to the top. And one of the key components of this is navigating through corporate politics and using it to your advantage. I often hear people say that corporate politics is destructive, it destroys morale, it hurts. And some even say corporate politics is not for them. Well, I'm happy to tell you that we need to completely reframe, as Nomonde said earlier, reframe the negative connotations of office politics and view it with different lens. What if it's not about deceit and manipulation, but about relationship, influence, networking, the ability to make a difference, about the good things? Office politics refers to the strategies and relationships individuals such as us use to gain power and influence and achieve our goals within the workplace. It's vital to actually acknowledge the unique challenges us women in the ICT industry face in an industry that has been historically male-dominated. As women, we are not only tasked with mastering technical competencies of our jobs, but also navigating an environment that was not built with us in mind. Therefore, learning to engage effectively in office politics is even more crucial for us. It's about navigating the existing structures with grace while simultaneously breaking down barriers and cultivating a more inclusive space. This isn't about playing the game in the traditional sense, but rather about wielding our unique perspectives and strength to redefine it. We have the power to shape the culture and the norms in our workplace, paving the way for future women in tech to thrive without having to conform or compromise their authenticity. So there are a number of misconceptions that I would like us to navigate through today and debunk some of them. The first one is the misconception that engaging in office politics and being a decent person, those are mutually exclusive. And the answer is no. Good folks such as us do office politics. We're involved in office politics whether we like it or not, consciously or not. The key is to harness it ethically and positively, using it as a tool to advance collective goals and contribute to a thriving work environment. The third misconception is the notion that office politics can be completely avoided. And again, you cannot escape it. I think you alluded to that earlier, Nomonde. The reality is, as long as we interact with others, politics will always be present. We are social creatures, and our interactions inherently involve a degree of influence and power dynamics. The question is not if politics exist, but rather what kind of politics we encourage. In every workplace, just to quote Kamala Harris, she said, in every work environment, there will be politics. If you really want to rise to the top, you need to figure out what the politics in your workplace are. Then you hook it in. You decide what conforms and what does not conform to your personal code. And that was a quote coming from Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States. The third misconception, which is one that I personally struggle with, is that office politics will not affect your career progression. The truth is that office politics affects your job performance and career trajectory. Your work, your performance alone will not always speak for yourself. My coach often says to me that, we've got this cultural notion that, we were brought up to say, don't brag about your work. You must let your work speak for yourself. And she always says to me, your work's not going to speak. You need to speak for yourself. So advocating for your work is not bragging. It's illustrating its impact on the organization and showing why it matters and why your seniors should continue investing in it. I would just like to kind of digress a bit and talk about the Queen Bee syndrome. Queen bees destroy bridges instead of building them. This is a phenomenon known as the Queen Bee syndrome in some workplaces. It's a behavioral pattern seen in some women in positions of authority who, rather than mentoring and fostering the professional and advancement of women who work under them, actually inhibit it. It's competitive, similar to gatekeeping, where those in power limit access to resources or opportunities, something that we see in the ICT environment, especially in the male-dominated environment. So ethical office politics is not about suppressing others to maintain personal status and control, but rather about fostering a supportive environment that enables everyone to succeed. It's about building bridges, not walls, and promoting a culture of collaboration and not competition. So what can you do? So how can we navigate office politics positively? Let us reframe how we view office politics. Rather than a negative force, consider it a tool to build strategic relationships, prepare for impactful discussions, and set your ideas up for success. How you approach these activities and the intent behind them is what truly matters. Building strong network is equally important. Your performance is crucial, but without a network of relationships, it may go unnoticed. Develop those connections. They will help you and your work to shine. Lastly, assess your current standing and identify areas of growth. There will be setbacks along the way, but each one offers valuable learning opportunity. Stay true to the values while navigating this space, because that is how you ensure success benefits not just you, but also for your colleagues and the organization as a whole. Remember, if we do not participate in office politics, we risk being sidelined by it. But by engaging in it positively, authentically, and ethically, we can use it as a platform for growth, achievement, and empowerment. So from the mouth of Niven, who's going to be speaking to us just now, there's a quote that I took from you that I really like, that I would like to end my speech with. You said, by painting all political activities with the same brush, we are oblivious to the potential for constructive politics. That is the range of perfectly ethical, appropriate activities that serve to strengthen relationships of support, expand influence, and build a powerful base that allows you and your team to be more effective. Sure. So I thank you.
Thank you, Mandisa. Already starting with really, really key nuggets. And I think a key takeaway there is advocating for your work is not bragging. Your lack of participation in politics is participation in and of itself.